Okay, so first finding our posture. This is going to be a guided meditation. I'm going to actually ask everybody to start with your eyes closed in this case. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little body scan. And by that, I mean we're going to check in with our bodies. And we're going to try and find places where we are holding tension. And we're going to relax those places. So starting at the top of your head, eyes closed, just place your attention on the top of your head and see if you can find any sense of tightness or tenseness there. And as you check in with that part of your body, just relax it. Moving down into your forehead. Relax your forehead. Down into the eyebrows. Relax those. Maybe you focus a little bit of time on your temples. Probably don't do that very often throughout our days. This is an opportunity for us to check in with different parts of our body and just relax them. Moving down into the eyes themselves. What are your eyelids doing? Are they closed tightly? Are they closed loosely? Is there any tension there? See if you can relax your eyes and your eye sockets. And moving out down into your cheeks and nose. And maybe while you're paying attention to the nose, notice the feeling of the breath as it enters in through your nose if you're breathing there. Or if you're breathing through your mouth, notice the feeling of the breath as it enters there. You don't have to change anything. You're just noticing how it feels entering and moving down into your throat. And while you're paying attention to your throat and your jaw, just see if there's any tension there. And if there is, just let it go. Your teeth can be together or apart. Your lips can be together or apart. And check in with your tongue. Is it cleaved to the roof of your mouth? If it is, let that relax. Let it hang. Moving down into your neck. Relax that, the back of your neck. Coming down into your shoulders. This is a good time to check in with your posture. Maybe move your shoulders back and let them hang down. As you move your shoulders back, you may notice that your chest opened up a little bit. And this is a good thing. You want to give your organs room to breathe, beat, do their thing. You might feel a sense of spaciousness there as you open up your chest. And while we're in the chest, let's also notice the feeling of the breath there. Again, you're not changing your breath. You're just trying to be aware of it. Trying to notice if you have any tightness or constriction. And if there is, you're just relaxing it. Moving down into your diaphragm and your belly and your sides. I tend to find that I hold a lot of tension in my belly and my sides. And it's not until I focus it that I notice it. And it's not until I notice it that I can relax it. This is sort of a metaphor for the mind as well. But right now, just notice that tension that you're holding on to. And just try and relax. Let it go. Moving down into the guts and the groin, all the way to your sits bones, which are the bones you're sitting on. Just try and relax those. Any sense of openness or relaxation you can find. And then moving out into the hips, out to the thighs. See if you're holding any tension in your thighs. If you're cross-legged, there's a very good chance you're holding on to things there. Try and relax that posture. Notice the feeling of the hands as they rest on your thighs. Going down into the knees, relaxing as you go. Your calves, shins, all the way down into your Achilles and the heels, arches of your feet, the tops of your feet, all the way out to the toes. Maybe give your toes a little wiggle. Check in with them. Make sure they have the blood flowing to them. And then this is a good time to just check back in with your overall posture. Has it changed? Have you slouched? If you have, just straighten up. And maybe notice too, now that you've checked in and relaxed your body a little bit, is your mind a little bit more relaxed? There tends to be a correlation between our minds and our bodies and their state of relaxation. And then slowly, gently, you can open your eyes, keeping your gaze downward. 4 to 6 feet on the floor in front of you. And then the instruction is the same. In this case, we are going to place a light attention on our breath and rest the rest of our attention in the space around us. And when we notice our minds chattering away, when we notice ourselves telling stories, thinking about the past or the future, or worrying about something, just notice it, let it go, and bring your attention back into the breath. Being present is a lot about relaxing. It's about relaxing into the present. It's not so much of a focus as it is a relaxation into. That's an important difference. Keeping a light focus on the breath, a light touch. When you notice your mind has been thinking, you've been having a conversation with yourself, just let that go. Bring your attention back to the present, back to the breath. People think that meditation is a passive activity, but we're actually being active. We're being actively aware of what's going on around us, and we're trying to be actively aware of our minds as well. When you notice that mind thinking, just let it go. And bring your attention back to the present and back to the breath. You can see too, if you can keep that light attention on your breath, and maybe also be aware of what your other senses are telling you. Maybe that's your sight or your sound or your hearing rather. There's actually a lot of things to experience right now. And you may also notice that the moment that your mind starts taking you away, you sort of lose your ability to be present with what's going on around you. You get lost in a dream of whatever your mind is telling you. So we're just practicing letting go of that neurotic habit and bringing our attention back to the breath and thus back to the present. This kind of meditation is all-inclusive. We're not trying to shut out anything. We're trying to be aware of everything. So if the sound of my voice, or the sounds of whatever you can hear, the feeling of your body, what you're seeing, all these things we experience in the present. Okay, and as you're ready, you can relax your posture. And we like to sometimes say stop meditating, but the goal here is to meditate and be very awake, so hopefully you're continuing your meditative experience now. Now having done that a little bit longer, you guys have any questions? Any further? One thing that I think sometimes people will work with a little bit is can be boredom, especially the longer you start to meditate. If you start meditating 20 minutes, 40 minutes, all day long, a week, and that's something that can be very natural to work with. Yeah.
I don't know if this is suggested or whatever, but like when I experiment, like trying to figure it out on my own, I would like think of the ocean and the repetitiveness of the calming of the ocean or something like that. Is that something recommended or?
So, there's different types of meditation, but this type of meditation, what you're really trying to do is not, you're not trying to visualize anything. You're not trying to really like get lost in thoughts or dreams almost, right? I could imagine where you could kind of just get lost in imagining the ocean. This is really about waking up to what is right here in front of us and going on inside us. So in that way, you really want to use the breath as your anchor to the present, right? I think that the body scan that we did at the beginning, I think that can be a very useful way to kind of relax at the beginning of a meditation, especially when we've had like our busy days and we've been running around, working and worrying about things, and then coming and sort of sitting and relaxing our bodies before we kind of really get into the breath and the sitting part of it. I think that can be very useful. Maybe, but the difference between that and kind of trying to envision the ocean is that you're actually when you're focusing on your body, you're focusing on your body in the present. You're not trying to make anything up. You're not trying to use your imagination. You're actually trying to do the opposite of that, which is really just be present with what's going on right now. So, yeah. Sure. Okay. If you guys don't have any other questions. Okay. Do you mind stopping it and then restarting?